Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real, and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. Hey lovely! Today I want to chat with you about managing customer or client complaints with integrity and with alignment with your brand. So I have got 5 or 6 steps to go through. And the reason I want to talk to you about this is because so often we feel like we need to please everyone, and we feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to deliver and to we want to make our clients and customers happy. And when it doesn't quite work out that way, we can take that personally. I'm speaking from experience. I started my first freelance business when I was 23. So, this is my process that I've developed over many years, and I hope that it's helpful to you as well. So, the first step is to take a minute. Just take a minute. Don't respond straight away. Don't reply straight away. If it's in your DMs, put your phone away. If it's in your emails, close your emails. If it's on the phone, all you need to do, especially if you can feel that heat rising, you know what I'm talking about, give yourself some space. Just say, look, we'll work on a solution for you. Please give us your contact details and we will call you back. And even if they, if somebody is making you feel pressured, or they're really, sometimes people get upset, you really need to stand firm in that boundary. So once you've done that and you have processed a little bit, you've really sort of understood the situation and wrapped your head around it all, and I guess prepared yourself for dealing with it, the next step is to put yourself in their shoes and take your own personal feelings out of it, which can be really difficult. It's much easier said than done, but that's why you have your client avatar. So, and if you don't have a client avatar, go and get yourself on the waitlist for Brand Alchemy and we can get you one. But, they're actually, remember that they're human. They're actually a person with feelings, and quite often, we all have baggage, we all have perceptions, and, we all have things going on in our lives. So, sometimes you have to stop and think, well, maybe this person isn't, maybe this isn't the only thing that they're upset about. Maybe there's actually something quite, bigger going on. And this is just a way that they can vent their frustration, or, especially if it's if it's a service that they've received that they're not happy with, or, I don't know, sometimes you don't have control over it, maybe they received a product that was damaged in the mail, that type of thing. But so, this can be applied to all sorts of different situations. So just consider that, consider their feelings. Sometimes it helps to just take yourself completely out of the equation and focus on them, because then that sort of helps us to protect our own personal feelings and our own personal attachment. Don't forget, this is our businesses are our babies and we get so attached to them. So it's actually quite refreshing to just take your personal self out of the equation. So, just empathize with them and look at the whole picture, especially, with regards to your own business and how this looks in the grand scheme of things. Is this really as big a deal as you thought it was going to be? So empathize with your customer. And then once you've done that, respond, come up with a solution, and then respond in alignment with your brand values. Consider your end goal, the vision for your brand and the reputation that you're building, and then all of these things come into play regardless of your personal feelings. So this is a really good way to keep within your boundaries and keep within your integrity, is to craft a response, in relation to your brand values. So, tick those brand values off. When you're finished crafting your response, measure that against your brand values, what you want to be known for. And then And then if it's still not resolved after that, go back and repeat the steps until it is. But if it can't be resolved, or the situation is pulling you in a direction that is outside of your brand values, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking in code here, and goals. If it's actually pulling you away from where you want to be heading and it's dragging you down, let it go. Release it in the best way possible. And whether that means you have to lose a few dollars, but let that person go with love, because they're obviously not your ideal customer, and sometimes it's better for you and it's better for them if the solution is to part ways. And that's perfectly okay. We're not for everybody, and maybe something went wrong somewhere along the line, or maybe it comes back to the fact that you accepted a client that wasn't your perfect client, and so there were conflicts of interest, or maybe it was just out of alignment from the beginning. And sometimes we just need to accept that and learn from it and move in. So that was actually the 6th step is to learn from the situation. So think about setting new boundaries in your business. Think about revisiting your client avatar with this new information that you have. Put in systems and processes that help you to avoid these types of situations in the future. And unfortunately, it's something that we all have to go through. Nobody is perfect. I don't think anybody's ever been in business without some kind of client complaint or customer, something. So, just know that there is a way to deal with things, and by having your brand guidelines in place, that actually can help you support you through the process, knowing that you have your brand values and you have your guidelines in place to guide you in situations like these. And as I said, if you do not have your guidelines in place, head on over to brandalchemy.net, get yourself on the waitlist for my Brand Foundation course so that you can be clear and within those boundaries and walk confidently, knowing that you are stepping towards a crystal clear vision. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this week's episode of Brand Lover, take a screenshot of wherever you're listening and share your biggest takeaway on Instagram or Facebook, and don't forget to tag me. I'd love to give you a shout out and thank you personally. Also, feel free to subscribe and leave a review to help the Brand Lover podcast reach more heart-aligned entrepreneurs just like yourself. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.